So, does it feel like your relationship is kinda slipping away? Like that distance between you and your partner just keeps growing, but you're just not ready to give up? Well, if that's you, you're in exactly the right place. Let's talk about how to find our way back to connection. You know that feeling? It's so hard to put into words, right? That sense that you're sitting in the same room, but you might as well be on different planets. It's this quiet, heavy feeling that, honestly, a lot of us have felt before. And then there's this little gem. Conversations that used to be so easy now feel like you're navigating a minefield. A simple question suddenly blows up into a full-blown argument, and you're both just left there thinking, wait, how did we get here? But look, seeing these signs, that's not the end. Not at all. In fact, it's the beginning. Because finally understanding what the real problem is, that's the first step to fixing it. This moment, right now, could be that turning point for you.
Okay, so let's get right down to it. What's really going on when a relationship starts to drift apart? Well, it's usually not what we think it is.
Think about it. Most relationships don't just blow up overnight from one huge fight. They fade. It's more like a slow erosion, caused by 1,000 tiny little moments of disconnection. And at the heart of it all is one thing: the loss of emotional safety.
So what exactly is this emotional safety we're talking about? Well, it's pretty much the foundation of any strong relationship. It's that deep down trust that you can be your true self, say what you really feel, and know that you're going to be heard, not punished or shut down.
So, take a look at this list. Does any of this sound familiar? Maybe a little too familiar? These aren't just random issues. Every single one of them is a big flashing sign that your foundation of emotional safety is starting to crack.
Okay, so if that's the problem, how do we even begin to fix it? Well, the very first step, and this is absolutely critical, is to just stop the damage. Before you can rebuild, you have to stop making things worse.
I mean, it just makes sense, right? You can't rebuild something while you're still knocking it down. Trying to solve big problems when you're both angry and defensive is like trying to build a sandcastle during a tidal wave. It's just not gonna work. The first skill to learn is knowing when to hit pause.
And this right here, this is where you see the huge power of a tiny change in how you say things. When you say you never, you're basically launching an attack and your partner's walls are gonna go right up. But when you start with, I feel, that's not an attack. That's an invitation for them to see your side of things.
Okay, so once you've managed to put out the fires, or at least stop adding fuel to them, it's time to start rebuilding. And this next part is all about bringing back that feeling of emotional safety we were just talking about.
Now this question, this one takes real courage. But wow, is it powerful. Asking this completely flips the script. It moves you away from blaming each other and towards understanding. It shows your partner you're willing to own your part in the problem.
And when they answer you, and this is the hard part, your only job is to do one thing: listen. And that means following these rules, no exceptions. It's so tempting to jump in and defend yourself, but you have to resist. Right now, the goal isn't to be right. The goal is just to understand.
This right here is such a crucial distinction to make. You can validate how your partner feels without agreeing with their story. Just saying something like, okay, I get it. I didn't realize that hurt you, and I can see why you'd feel that way, isn't saying you're wrong. It's saying I see you, I hear your feelings, and that can change everything.
All right, so where do we go from here? We've lowered the negativity, we're working on safety. Now it's time for the fun part, adding the good stuff back in, intentionally bringing warmth back into your day-to-day life. See, getting that connection back isn't about some huge dramatic gesture. Nope, it's built in these tiny little micro moments. Simple things like a quick text to say thanks, or just putting your phones down for 10 minutes to actually talk. These small things add up and rebuild that positive vibe between you.
And that's really the secret sauce right there. A small, kind word every single day does way more for a relationship than one big, fancy dinner once a year. It's that steady, consistent effort that rebuilds the trust and the warmth.
All right, for our last step, we're gonna go a little deeper. Once things feel a bit safer and more positive, you can start to dig under all those surface level arguments and figure out what's really going on. This is such a classic example, isn't it? The real fight is never ever about the phone. The phone is just the thing you can see. The real issue, the emotional need underneath it all, is about feeling lonely or wanting to feel connected. Learning to talk about the need instead of just the problem is an absolute game changer.
So when you put all these pieces together, you start to see something really powerful. It kind of reframes how we think about love and what makes a relationship last.
So here's the path, all laid out for you. Look, it's not some magic fix, but it is a real step-by-step guide. You learn to handle your emotions, you listen to actually understand, you work on rebuilding safety, and you sprinkle in those positive moments. That is how you build the road to recovery.
I want you to really let that one sink in. This is probably the most important takeaway from all of this. It's almost never that the love is gone. It's that the connection, the thing that lets love grow, wasn't being protected.
And you know what? That's maybe the most hopeful message of all. A feeling can come and go, right? It's unpredictable. But a skill, well, a skill is something you can actually learn. You can practice it. You can get better at it. And that means the power to rebuild, to reconnect, and to protect your love is right there, in your hands.